Good morning. Today we're going to make whole wheat blueberry pancakes, and we're going to use these products. First of all, I'm going to write down the time that we started so we know how long it takes to make this meal. The clock says 9:31 and I just wrote down 9:30. We're going to use packages that we buy in the supermarket. We're going to use the whole wheat blend and Jemima waffle and pancake mix. And to combine with that, we're going to follow the recipe, except we're going to change it a little bit, and you'll find it works out just as well. We'll use 1 cup of the whole wheat pancake mix. We'll use 1 cup of milk, and that milk can be either hemp milk or almond breeze milk or coconut milk or soy milk. Today I happen to have the hemp milk open already, and I actually like the hemp milk a lot, so we're going to use the hemp milk today. We'll also use a tablespoon of plain oil, and instead of eggs, I'm going to use some Eno. Eno is a fruit salt. It's sort of like Alka-Seltzer, the equivalent of Alka-Seltzer, and it makes the batter frothy, and it helps it stick together. And then I'm going to use frozen blueberries. I have these in my freezer all the time, and that's how I make what I perceive to be delicious pancakes. So let's get started. It's 9:32. This is a Teflon grill. It's really great, and I've often mentioned how having a good Teflon pan really saves on the oil usage. Oil in here for the first one. About a tablespoon. Actually a little less. And then this tablespoon will go into the mix that I'm making. And I'm just following the ingredients except for, trying to find there goes my 1 tablespoon oil. Just did that a little out of order. Doesn't matter. This mix is really great. I didn't see any animal products in it, so I don't think it's there, but you can check it yourself. But even just making it without us adding it helps a lot. So the instructions call for 1 cup of the dry mix, and to be honest, we always eat more than the basic recipe, but I'll start out with 1 cup. It's really very flexible. This is a great product, and so it's hard to go wrong with it. Then I'm going to add, I already have my oil in there. It's going to get all sticky, but use my hemp milk, which I love. I'm going to add in 1 cup of hemp milk, and I might have to add more later too. Blueberries that I just live on. I live on all my frozen fruits. If I didn't have a freezer, that would be very hard, but I have a freezer, and we really are lucky by having fresh frozen. So this is about a cup of the, moving this around. This is really quite hot now. I can feel it. And the batter, you can see, is quite thick. And I'll probably thin that down in a minute. But again, you'll get used to it yourself. So I'm going to double check this before I put my blueberries in. So 1 cup of mix, 1 cup of milk, a tablespoon of oil, and 1 egg. And instead of the egg, I'm putting in a teaspoon of this Eno, this fruit salt at the end. I'm also going to thin this down a little bit. throw that in. And at this point, I kind of gently mix it, because I want to, even though they're frozen, I want the batter to be batter and the blueberries to be blueberries. Now, if you use this, it would be fine already, without the egg, without the Eno. But the Eno just adds a little bit of fluffiness to it. So I'm going to use about a teaspoon. And you can get this at most drugstores. Now you can see the batter is quite thick. I might wind up adding a little bit more milk. Just to thin it down a bit. Here, it's ready to go. I don't even know why I bothered putting oil in here, because it all just goes to one side. So I'm actually going to pour the oil off. And you'll get used to the right consistency for yourself and your family. But and I actually tweak it all the way through. Now it looks a little runny. Maybe I'll add some more mix. But that's the beauty of this mix. It's really a very good mix. I turned the heat down to medium-low because it was high. And now I'm just waiting for it to get some bubbles. So 1 cup, I used hemp milk. And you could also use almond milk or soy milk or coconut milk. And now I'm just waiting for the bubbles to come on top. So now it's 9:42, and these are a little bit overdone because I was making this. Hopefully you don't do that, but I just wanted you to see how they would turn out. In the meantime, my husband really likes, this is plain old syrup, which we love. You might like different types of syrup, but I actually heat this up in the microwave. So I'm lucky I have a microwave also. But other than that, this is ready to go. So here, just to recap, we have the Aunt Jemima whole wheat blend. And we started at 9:30. We had a tablespoon of oil, 1 cup of mix, 1 cup of hemp milk, a teaspoon of Eno, which is this fruit salt that makes it a little bouncy, and a cup of frozen berries. I'll try and not burn the next bunch. But here I want you to see how juicy it is inside. So the meal, it's cakey, and yet it's very moist where the blueberries are. And you can see they're still whole. But there you have the cakey and the blueberries. And I'll say 9:45. And you've got your your first batch of pancakes, depending how many you can have in one pan. So that was pretty quick. I hope you enjoy it. So now I'm going to take this, even though my hands were clean. So here's the heated up syrup, and here are the first pancakes. And they're whole wheat, so that means quite a bit of protein in there for a nice Sunday morning meal. Thank you. It's 9:45.